Right, fantastic. So before we dive
This
into
call is now
our topic
taking
for
notes.
today,
This call is
I
now
know
being
a lot of
recorded.
us are excited to hear more about how to apply AI in terms of enhancing our productivity in our workplace. And we're going to look at a couple of it. All right. So before we get started, I would like to get to know each and every one of us on this call. Okay. So all I want you to do is just go into the chat session. Okay. Type your name and where you are joining from. Okay. Type your name and where you're joining from. My name is Mary, and I am joining this call from Lagos. Okay. I'm joining this call from Lagos, Nigeria. So if you are joining this call for the first time, just go ahead, put in your information. Okay, my name is Hakeem. My name is Chisom. Okay, my name is Sunflower. And then you tell me exactly where you're joining from so I can get to meet everyone as well.
Okay. My name is Chisom
Okay.
from Owerri, Imo State,
Oh,
Nigeria.
fantastic. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Chisom. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Okay, so I can see Amos as well. Akim is also about to introduce himself because I can see your mic is unmuted. Okay, but
So,
I wouldn't encourage us to start unmuting our mic so the session doesn't get too rowdy. Okay,
okay.
so we have a system of using our raise hand icons as well as using the chat sessions. Okay, just to keep everything orderly and you know all right, all right. So I'll also encourage each and every one of us to also, we can go ahead and turn off our camera. Okay, that's also fine. It's not compulsory to keep your camera on. All right, so I'm just going to give a quick shout out to everyone that's dropped in their, shared their info on the chat box. So I can see Sunflower. Sunflower says her name is Karen and she's joining from Jamaica. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Karen. Amos is joining from Lagos as well. Hi, Amos. Nice to have you here. Okay, I can see Alex is joining from River State. Wow, we have a diverse amount of individuals on this call, and I'm very, very excited to meet you guys, and then we can also get started into talking more about what we have for today. Okay, so hi Ibrahim from Abuja, Abdul Salam from Lagos, Nigeria. So we have a lot of individuals from Lagos and also from the other side of the world, like Karen from Jamaica. I can see Omolara from UK as well, Precious Williams from Akwa Ibom. All right, fantastic, fantastic to have everyone on this call. Okay, and yeah, we are going to dive into what we have for today, and I want every one of us to pay close attention because we are going to be having an exciting time learning about these new things or learning about these new aspects of working or keeping ourselves more productive in this time and era where we have a lot of AI coming into the market each and every day. All right. So on that note, I'm going to say welcome once again. Welcome everyone on this call to a webinar session with Tenalytics Business, where we are going to be discussing how ChatGPT, AI, and data tools help us keep staying productive as busy professionals. Okay, so let's dive in. But before we start looking at all of these AI tools, I would like to introduce who we are with today. So what is Tenalytics Business? Tenalytics Business is a leading e-learning platform that is designed to help organizations across the world empower their teams with a wide array of professional development options, with access to top quality courses across diverse disciplines. The Analytics Business addresses the continuous learning and development needs essential in environments in today's fast-paced business environments. Okay, so that is exactly what Tenalytics Business is about, helping diverse businesses uh, understand how to earn skill sets that would help their business move forward. All right. Now, we also want to meet the founders of Tenalytics business. So we have Adeza Suleiman as well as Efemina Ikro. For Adeza Suleiman is the co-founder of Tenalytics business. He's a data analytics expert, data science consultant, and has worked for diverse industries. He has also helped transition and train over 8,500 participants, transitioning them from no tech skills into their first roles in tech. All right, that's a fantastic thing to do, especially for individuals or in today's world where tech and data is now the new thing. Now, we also have Efemina Ipro. Efemina Ipro is also the co-founder of Tenalytics business. He's a data scientist. He has also worked for diverse industries, including Post Office UK, Teleflex in Ireland as a global business system analyst. He has also worked as a business intelligence developer across diverse organizations. Efemina Ipro has over a decade of experience in data science and also an understanding of applying cutting-edge technological tools in multiple sectors. All right, so that is that for our founders. Now to meet our speaker for tonight, okay? Now, your speaker for tonight is no other person than Mary Anene, myself. I am a data analytics professional passionate about turning data into actionable insights and helping individuals unlock their tech opportunities. With over half a decade of experience across multiple industries, I have combined my technical expertise with my strong commitment to empowering individuals through data literacy and career mentorship. Now, with over half a decade of experience in data analytics, data science, and HR analytics, I have honed my skill sets in diverse tools such as Power BI, Excel, Tableau, Python, SQL, and I'm also currently a senior data associate here at Analytics, helping diverse individual mentoring and also helping them transition successfully into their tech roles. All right. Now, with a lot of experience in diverse industries, including government bodies such as the House of Representatives, NGOs, importation and marketing, and as we all know who we are with here, a tech company, Tenalytics business, I have been able to understand how to apply my skill sets in diverse situations and diverse areas, helping individuals make sense of their data and use those data to create informed decision. I'm also an advocate for women in tech, data literacy, AI, and data-driven innovation. All right. And one of those key interests is exactly what we are going to be talking about tonight. All right. But before we dive in, let's, get this in so that we don't miss it at the end of this session. All right. So we have over the past 5 years, we have equipped over 60,000 individuals, and corporations across Africa, Europe, America, and Asia. All right. And this is the breakdown of how, this particular number has exceeded expectations and impacted diverse lives. 20,000 for data analytics, 15,000 for full stack data science, 10,000 for business analysis, 6,500 financial analytics, 3,000 for HR analytics, 1,500 for data engineering, 1,000 for Power Platform engineers, 1,000 for Scrum Master, 3,000 individuals for cybersecurity. And these individuals spans across diverse areas of the world, just like each and every one of us on this call, joining from different areas in the world: UK, Canada, US, Jamaica, Nigeria, every corner of Nigeria. I can see everyone on this call, and trust me, I can feel the love, right? Now, these are all the organizations that, Tenalytics business have come in contact with, and also help to transform and touch lives and help them to create solutions for the problems that each organization might be facing, and also want to skill up to get the best out of their organization and the best out of their staffs, right? Now, we are going to dive right into our topic for today, right? So as usual, I would like to, help us understand, what is our purpose here today, right? We've come in here, we want to understand some certain things about how to actually use AI to make our lives easier, right? So the purpose of our meeting today is just to understand exactly how to apply AI tools like ChatGPT. I mean, how many of us here have heard about ChatGPT? How many of us have heard about ChatGPT? Okay, I can see thumbs up. All right, fantastic. Sunday as well, fantastic, fantastic. Kende, awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, fantastic. So ChatGPT is a very popular tool, and I'm sure we already, one way or the other, we've made some contacts with those kinds of tools. Now we're also going to be looking at diverse tools in today's session, but we'll look at exactly what ChatGPT does and see exactly how to use it to get the best out of it, while we weigh in on other kinds of tools and see exactly how we can get the best out of it. All right. So yes, our purpose here today is to evaluate different kinds of AI tools or software and see how they can improve our work quality and simplify decision making or processes in our day-to-day lives as professionals. Okay. Now, before we dive in, what is artificial intelligence? We already know that artificial intelligence is that tool or software that helps make our lives easy. But in real sense, it's actually a tool that has been trained, okay, to reason and understand and help us to perform tasks from, start to finish to make our lives much more easier. All right. It's a tool that has been trained, okay, giving it that capability to reason, to understand processes, to understand how to respond, trained efficiently to help humans make their lives easier and faster. All right. Now, instead of us running away from it and saying, oh, AI is going to come and take our jobs, AI is going to come and, replace us and all of that. A lot of professionals who start to take advantage of AI might end up, having more advantage than those that do not actually take advantage of the trends of AI. All right. Now, why is this important for busy professionals? The first thing is it helps you to automate tasks. Imagine having to, craft multiple emails, right? Having to craft multiple emails every day just to respond appropriately and all of that. AI can help you summarize all of those things in a short period of time. Let's say it took you 2 hours to respond to emails. Let's say you're holding a leadership position and there are a lot of tasks that you have to approve, a lot of meetings and a lot of clients that you have to respond to. Even those in the sales team can also relate to this when they have a lot of client emails to respond to. Now imagine having that process automated in a way that you don't even have to lift a finger every day just to respond to those emails. This task ends up being completed within, let's say, 20 minutes, something that would have taken you, hours and hours to complete, right? Now, the impact of this is that it helps you to speed up your processes within the day, and it also allows you more time to do more valuable work. All right. Imagine having more time instead of completing redundant tasks in longer hours. You have a process or a system that helps you reduce the number of hours that you used to do that. That means you have more time to actually develop yourself and make yourself more relevant in that particular institution or in that particular role. All right, you have more time for self-development, more time for research, more time for understanding what is going on around you so you can put your best foot forward. All right, that is exactly what AI can do for professionals. Okay. All right, so let's go on. Okay, so we have our very first AI tool, and that AI tool is no other than ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is a large model language. Okay, it is a large model language that we already know how to use. The first thing is it helps us to, you know, interpret any command that we put into it. It starts like this. As a human being, we have to ask it to do something for us. All right. We tell ChatGPT we have to, create an input for ChatGPT to actually use to think, right? So right here we have a definition talking about how we generate human-like text based on prompts. Now, these prompts are the inputs that you and I create. Okay, we craft it and then we impute it into ChatGPT. Before ChatGPT does what it does, all right, it has to go through that text. It has to think. It has to, understand what you actually want before it summarizes and gives you an output. Now, to be able to use ChatGPT for productivity, okay, you have to, first of all, understand exactly how it works and understand exactly how to use it to the best of your capability, right? Now, it's not just you typing a couple of words. Hey, ChatGPT, can you tell me, how long it's going to rain? Okay, that's not how you use these kinds of tools. All right, you have to make sure that your prompt is very, very good. Okay, you have to make sure that your prompt is very, very good and also very, you know, straightforward in terms of what you want to get out of it. All right. So how does ChatGPT work? ChatGPT is already trained on a vast amount of information, so it can do any kind of thinking that you want. So think of it as your research assistant or your, office assistant that actually thinks just the way you want it to think. All right. It doesn't just generate human like text, but you can also train it to the extent of sounding and also thinking like you. All right. So it blends very well with human activity to the extent that you might as well, you know, create a clone of yourself with ChatGPT memory of you just to, fill out some certain tasks for you as a professional. Now, aside from it having this vast understanding of information, it can also respond to all your instructions in a very intellectual manner. All right. Because of this large language model that it possesses, it has the understanding to give you exactly what you want. Now, it can do whatever you ask it. Like I said, it can be your research assistant. You can use it to summarize, create emails, analyze different kinds of data, and it will give you exactly what you want, especially when you give it the right information. Now, let's look at this. The quality of your prompt equals the quality of your AI output. So quality prompt equals quality AI output. So we are going to take a quick example here. All right. We want to look at, how ChatGPT works. And I also want us to see or give me some examples or examples of prompts after this first practical that we are going to work with here. All right. So let's say, we have a marketing report. Now, we don't have all the details, but we do have a marketing report that we would like to go through. Okay. We have a marketing report that we would like to go through. And we go into ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT here. Don't worry, you can also just, go into your browser, type in chatgpt.com, okay, and you are good to go. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is just write the first prompt that comes to mind. Like, let's say, hi ChatGPT, or no, just go straight. Write a, okay, a marketing report. You can see ChatGPT has advanced to that extent of, giving you suggestions of what it thinks you want to impute, or what it thinks you want to get out of this whole process. All right. So the prompt is write a marketing report, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and impute this. Now, ChatGPT is going to guess whatever it can guess, right? So it just gave me a prompt here. Oh, got it. But marketing report is pretty broad, right? That's the first thing it does. Your prompt equals the kind of output you are going to get. ChatGPT does not know what the purpose of this marketing report is, what the scope is, the audience you're trying to target, like it has listed out here for you already, the structure preference, the data availability that you want it to report on. All right. This information, or this particular situation, is some of the limitation that ChatGPT actually has. I won't call it a limitation because it is embedded on data privacy. If it could answer this, it means that it also has access to your private data, your files, your drives, all of those things. With just this prompt, write a marketing report. But because it doesn't have access to other external information, that is why we are getting this feedback. You've not given me enough things to work with here. So you have to go ahead and enhance what you are asking me to do. Okay. You have to have the right prompt for it to give you the right information. All right. So let's try this again. Okay. So I'm going to go in and say, okay, prepare a detailed, all right. Okay, so we have to prepare a detailed marketing report. Okay, on a market research. Okay, that includes the sales team. Okay, that includes the sales team analysis. Let's say that includes the sales team analysis on last quarter's, okay, last quarter's sales data. Okay, on tech products. Okay, I'm just going to leave that on tech products. Okay, so give me key recommendations on, what we can do to improve sales based on industry research. All right. All right, to improve sales, okay, based on industry. All right, research. Okay. So right here, we've come a long way from just write a market report. We went ahead to do what? We defined what we wanted. Okay. We want, okay. Sorry. Okay. So we want to prepare a detailed marketing report on a market research. All right. So basically, we are doing a market research that includes the sales team's analysis on last quarter's sales data on tech products. All right. Give me key recommendations on what we can do to improve sales based on industry research. Now, in this kind of situation, if you have a sales data, this would be a good time to just, have some screenshots maybe on the dashboard of the analysis and just attach it right here. But in this scenario, we don't have any of that. So we are going to go ahead and just impute that prompt right there. Now, this time around, we should get something much more tangible than just another question. Okay, what are you trying to say? All right. Basically, what's the response we got first of all was, okay, what are you trying to say? Because a market report is just a very broad concept right now. What exactly do you want? All right. So we've tailored it down to what? To sales. All right. Sales of what? Tech products. And what do we want? We want key recommendations on what we can do to improve sales based on industry research. Now, let's see what it gives us in return after this kind of prompt. Okay. All right. So right now we can see what a full report coming up. Gave it a title, talked about all the key things that we should be looking out for in that particular report. So marketing report, market research, and sales team analysis in brackets, tech products. Gives an executive summary of what we are looking at based on other research that has been done, basically just taking out data from the internet and understanding what is actually going on in the global scale or in the industry of sales. Okay, so I notice a couple of us are muted. If you don't mind, please go ahead and mute your mic. All right, I'm getting quite a number of feedbacks. All right, thank you very much. All right, so like I said, the quality of your prompts equals to the quality of the output that an AI model like ChatGPT can give you. So if you are going to be using this kind of tool for productivity, you also have to understand exactly how to speak to these kinds of tools. All right. You also have to understand exactly how to speak to these kinds of tools to get the best results out of it. All right. So right here, you can see we have a long list from executive summary to scope and methodology, market context. And if we want to go on and on, it's going to go ahead and give us all the information that we need. And right here, just like that, we have a full report within few minutes, okay, just by crafting the right prompt. So imagine you actually gave it more information about that sales data, you will have even more detailed and structured response or report to give back in few minutes without having to spend hours trying to research this and excuse me, and research that, or gathering documents here and there that can be sorted out within few seconds, even giving you other references based on the research model that has been given to it. All right. Now, before I go on, I want somebody to give me, an idea of any kind of task that you think ChatGPT can do for you in your workplace. Any kind of task at all. Maybe write an email to my manager, anything at all. All right. You can just go ahead, drop it in the chat box, and then we can go ahead and talk about that. All right. Any task. Okay. All right, so I'm waiting for that. All right, let me rephrase that question again. All right, okay. If you have any tasks at all that you feel, okay, I spend a lot of time doing this, can ChatGPT actually help me, you know, change the length of time I used to go through this particular uh, task? Okay, if it can, definitely, I'm sure, you can just drop that there. Okay, so draft a dress code of conductors for an office. Okay. All right. Okay. For an office. So which kind of industry is this office in? All right. So it knows exactly what it's looking out for. Because when you say dress code for an office, it could just be, a an office like Mackenzie that we have right here. And it could also be, a manufacturing firm or a what industry? Okay, I can see media communication office. All right, so let's try that. Okay, let's try that. Drafts a dress code, a media communication industry. All right, so draft a dress code for staff. All right. Now I can go a bit further than this. Draft a dress code for staffs of a media communication industry, breaking it down by break it down by gender. Okay. All right. Break it down by gender. So we see exactly what kind of dress code the male or the females can use. Okay. So let's see that. All right, so staff dress code policy is being drafted right now. So in SAT company, purpose. In fact, this is already an official document that can go out in an email in few seconds. All right. So general guidelines for all staffs. Clothes must be clean, well pressed, and in good condition. Avoid offensive graphics, slogan, or political statements unless they are part of a company approved campaign. Avoid excessive revealing clothes, and so on and so forth, right? So we can see all of that. Now it gives us a breakdown of male staff dress code, all right? What is expected or what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And it does the same thing for the females as well. Creative role exceptions, right? And it goes on like that, giving you different kinds of breakdowns to different kind of roles or situations that the company might find itself in. Okay. All right. So I can see another one here. We have, I hope I'm not missing anyone. Okay. Okay, so we have explained how communication affects relationship in the work setting. All right. So for this as well, you want to go a bit deeper in terms of context. Explain how communication affects relationships in work setting. All right. So let's try that anyway. I think this one can fall under research, right? Okay. How communication can okay, so I can see some questions around it actually creating charts for us. All right, so yes, definitely it can create charts, analyze and visualize data even in external tools, especially when you connect it directly. All right, so let me see this question again. All right. All right. Affects relationships in a workspace. Okay. Explain how communication affects relationships in a workspace. So this is just you asking it for, an explanation of what it needs to do. So for this as well, we have a different approach to this. So it goes in and gets all information, communication, build trust and credibility, reduces misunderstanding and conflicts. Okay, so it gives you a breakdown of the positives and negative of reduce misunderstanding and conflict, strength, collaboration, and teamwork, affects motivation and morale. Okay, so this is exactly how it works. When you have the right prompt, you get the right result. When you give it a vague prompt, you get questions or, in fact, something that you did not bargain for. All right. So that is exactly how ChatGPT works. Now, ChatGPT is one of many AI tools, and we are going to start diving into other AI tools. We'll just look at them briefly, what they do, and the kind of professionals that they can serve. And hopefully, we have enough time to actually look into how some of these other AI tools function. All right. So I'm going to dive into our slides once again. And this time around, we are going to look at this tool next. All right. So we've looked at ChatGPT for productivity. We're going to look at top AI tools for professionals, things that we need on a day-to-day basis to help us enhance our processes, help us create more intelligent solutions to our day-to-day activities. All right. So let's dive in. Okay. The first thing we have here is Notion AI. Now, Notion AI is that tool that helps to enhance workspace by adding an AI-powered capability in helping us to track our tasks, complete some simple tasks and communicate to diverse individuals efficiently. Now, we also have it here for writing, research, and task management. Mostly those individuals that use this tool, they use it for reporting, meeting notes, or proposals. And then we also have summarizing long documents instantly, generating ideas or action plans, automating routine writing tasks. Okay, automating routine writing tasks. All right, so I can see a hand raised. I think we are going to take questions basically at the end of this. So if you want to note your question down, go ahead and write your question down, or just keep it till the end. All right, but you can still leave your hand raised so that we can start with you once we are done. All right. So how do we actually integrate a tool like Notion AI into our day-to-day activities? So we have a lot of ways that we can do this. First of all, we need to understand how to use this application or how to sign up for it. We can always, once we get this document, if you want to get this document, to ensure that you get it, you need to fill out the form that is being shared by Treasure in the chat box. All right, so you need to fill it out. So if you want to get to any of these products, all you have to do is just click the product icon here, and you should be able to get to the page where you can test all of these things out. So it has a lot of integration potential. So like I said, Notion is almost like a workspace, or it is a workspace that helps a lot of individuals, especially product managers, to create an efficient process that helps a business run its tasks and monitor processes efficiently. And most of the tools that it can be integrated with are tools like Slack, Google Doc, Google Drive, Trello, Jira, letting teams centralize knowledge and tasks a in a one data-driven workspace. So there are a lot of tools that can be connected with Notion. Just to mention a few, we just mentioned Slack, Trello, Jira, Zapier, as well as some Google tools that can be used to help automate processes. So whenever you want to write maybe a proposal, Notion AI can help you automate that process, helping you using prompts to help you create your proposals or take down meeting notes based on the situation or the task that you want to use it for. All right. So who are those that actually benefit from this? The individuals that benefit from these are individuals like product managers, product designers, scrum master, and agile project managers. In fact, we also have content creators, social media managers, and as well as a lot of freelancers and other professionals that want to use this to create, a standard page to, help their clients life cycle move efficiently and flow well. All right. So this is exactly what the tool Notion can help you to achieve. Another AI tool we have here is the Auto AI. So this Auto AI is a tool that helps you to transcribe your meetings, right? Now imagine you go into your, work meeting, or you are missing that meeting based on a particular situation that can't be avoided, right? You have an AI now that basically helps you to, monitor everything that is happening in the meeting. It records for you, it transcribes, it also summarizes the meetings for you and helps you to, create a list, or helps you to create a summarized list of what happened, some of the key points that you need to understand, and you can definitely use it for any kind of situation. We have other relative tools that also work like this Auto AI, such as the Minute AI, this TAC IQ. Okay, and basically what they do for you is just to make your life a bit more easier. Instead of you taking notes word for word, it basically records everything. And after the session, it sends the information directly into your inbox. You can also go into it and interact even more, asking questions and understanding exactly what happened. Other capabilities are also attached to other tools here that I've mentioned. Like I said, if you want to interact with them, just click on the logos here, all right, and you are going to get into those tools. But please make sure to register, just as Treasure is also adding all of those informations into the chat box. Make sure to register. All right. So yes, so some of the capabilities of this particular tool is the live transcription during virtual or in-person meetings, the AI generated meeting summaries with key highlights and action items, as well as searchable transcripts for easy reference and knowledge sharing, and speaker identification and keyword tags, right? Now, it also integrates well with all these meeting tools that we are used to, such as Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Slack, and Dropbox, right? So these are some of the key tools that we can use, all right, to connect these kinds of tools. All right. If you want to make sure that everything that you are doing on call is being recorded and tracked, you can also do that. For those of us that are always in management meeting, if you don't want to miss anything, all right, make sure to apply the use of these tools. It helps you to summarize everything. You can go through your meeting notes. In fact, the entire recording of the meeting, everything is sorted for you. Now, a lot of professionals can benefit from this. So we just mentioned a few here, but any kind of professional at all who has regular meetings on a weekly basis can always make use of tools like this. Okay, so another interesting AI software we have here. All right, don't worry, we are still going to take a little bit of practical once we get to, close to the end. All right, another AI tool we have here is the Zapier AI tool. Now, Zapier on its own is a no-code automation platform that helps us to connect multiple apps to complete repetitive tasks. Let's say you want to have a process that handles your email approvals or declines. All right, Zapier AI or Zapier is the place to go. Now, the AI integration can help you generate content. It can help you analyze inputs and make decisions. All right. So one thing I want us to understand is that there are two types of AI, or there are two types of processes that we can enjoy or make use of or take advantage of as professionals, right? The first one is the automation part of AI, and the second one is the agent. Now, the automation part is the part that helps you complete repetitive tasks, and the agent part is the part that actually thinks, right? So just like what we have with ChatGPT, when you put in an information or request a particular thing, it basically helps you to do what? It gives you a structured response, having thought about everything. Now, for automation, the line of or the structure that you've given it is what is going to always follow. There has to be a trigger point for it to act. Okay. But for an agent, okay, you have to ask for something, then it goes through the automation or the structure that it has and gives you a relative output or a close enough output based on what you requested for. Now, combining these two together for Zapier AI, Zapier AI was able to combine their automation with an AI that actually helps you to integrate, a more thoughtful workflow in the process of completing your tasks, or rather automating your tasks. So instead of you, let's see if I can just, write on my screen very quickly. All right. So instead of you going through a process where you are like, okay, this is you, okay, in the place of an input, okay. All right. So ignore my handwriting. I have a very weird writing pad right now. Okay, so this is you in the place of an imputer. All right, you want to make a request to, let's say, an LLM. Okay, like ChatGPT, for example, or in this situation, Zapier AI. So I'm just going to put ZAI over here. All right, you ask a question and it gives you an output. All right, it gives you an output. Okay, how do you cook, or how do you make, what's it called, how do you make puff puff? Let me use puff puff for example. Or how do you make a cocktail, something like that. It's going to walk you through exactly how you make a cocktail. All right, it gives you the output direct. All right, but in a situation like where we have an agent, okay, or why we even need an agent in this kind of situation, is that when I ask ChatGPT, okay, can you tell me, when I'll be having my next meeting? Okay, can you tell me when I'm going to be having my next meeting today? ChatGPT is going to tell you that it doesn't have access to those kinds of information, isn't it? So you go ahead and do what? You go ahead and start adding more branches, okay, to what ChatGPT can access. All right, you create or you add your calendar, okay, you add your calendar. Let me just, draw a calendar here, you know, forgive my my drawing. All right, so I'll just draw a calendar here, and this time around, if I run this input again and say, oh, can you tell me when next I'm having a meeting, ChatGPT is going to go through what it has access to, which is my calendar, and tells me, oh, you're going to be having a meeting in the next 30 minutes with the sales team or with Mr. Elon Musk, right? That's exactly what it's going to do based on the information it has access to, right? So, which is why automation, all right, or in fact, agents may not be able to efficiently give you everything you want, but combining both of them together, like Zapier has done, all right, gives you the best of both worlds. All right. So instead of you waiting for a trigger point, you can just use your agent, ask it a question based on all of the other tools that it has access to. It can now give you a much more detailed response. All right. Now, if I go in and say, oh, prepare a marketing report, and it has access to the marketing file in my drive, it doesn't have to ask me a question like, oh, that is a broad, question you're asking me. I don't know where to start from. It has access to that file now. It's going to go in there and pick up the information and prepare a report for you based on that particular file. All right. Now, this is exactly, or that is exactly how this particular tool works. So I'm just going to take this all out, all right, so that we can continue looking at every other AI tool that we have here today. Don't worry, this is not even the best of the best. We are going to even see more tools that we can apply in our daily tasks. All right. Okay, so moving on. All right, so let's look at some of the capabilities. Now, for Zapier AI, Zapier AI actually has access to a large number of tools, which means that you can use it to create automations across diverse platforms, connecting it to diverse tools. So, as much as you can think of most of the popular tools you use, you can definitely connect it with the Zapier AI, your ChatGPT, your Slack, Google Sheets, your emails. If you want to send out emails automatically, it does exactly that for you. All right. In terms of let's say content creation, gathering data, if you want to extract some certain amount of data or some certain kinds of data and store them in a spreadsheet, it eliminates the manual data inputs for you, and you can also create an efficient automation process that helps you to manage all of those tasks seamlessly without you having to lift a finger. All right. So, like I said, it integrates well with diverse tools. We have Slack, Gmail, Google, Airtable, HubSpot, Notion AI, and even ChatGPT. All right, to help you automate workflows efficiently. Imagine integrating ChatGPT into your email responses, right? It gives you exactly what you want because it has access to the email history. It can reply to Mr. Adewale exactly how you want it to reply to Mr. Adewale or even any other person on the team based on the information it has access to. All right. So there are diverse amounts of AI tools that Zapier AI can connect to efficiently. And this can be used by anyone, especially small businesses or large businesses, startups, admin professionals who have a lot of emails stacked up, all right, data analysts who want to extract data for diverse processes, automating diverse processes of data collection, data engineers who have a pipeline of where they are extracting data from, marketing team who want to make sure that they gather all their data efficiently from their CRM tools. Whatever it is that you want to carry out, you can always create that automation to powered by an AI agent to help you get the best of both worlds. Okay, now moving on, we still have ChatGPT enterprise version. Now we've talked about ChatGPT before, but there are different kinds of ChatGPT. The one we just used is the normal ChatGPT that each and every one of us have access to, although not everyone. All right, that is ChatGPT 5. ChatGPT 5 is just a new version that just came up. All right. So you can just go into ChatGPT and have access to it before it is taken off the list, just to see exactly how it works. Now, that particular ChatGPT is going to be part of the enterprise version that is going to be used, okay, to that is, going to be used to help teams do even more work. Now, ChatGPT no longer wants to play the role of a research tool that is used to answer questions, just like we did or we tested out in the beginning, right? It now wants to go even deeper into assisting professionals, becoming an AI assistant, assisting professionals to do more. So if you want to analyze your data, I believe someone asked that question as well. You can go into ChatGPT and do that, summarize your data, create reports or sensitive informations that, are basically supposed to be within your organization. It can do that in a well secured manner, creating an efficient report without you having to risk those information or your data in any dangerous way for the AI to manipulate. All right. So we have some of the capabilities here. It helps you to summarize long documents and reports or policies instantly. Helps you to draft emails, proposal, or market research in seconds. And it also helps you to support data analysis, insight generations for your reports. Integrates securely with tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, and internal dashboards. All right. So everything you want it to do within your organization, it can do it efficiently. So if you want to integrate it with APIs from your organization, you can do that and help you to get the best results. Microsoft tools done efficiently, Slack or Google Workspace. Okay, you can basically use the ChatGPT as your AI assistant, helping you to carry out some tasks or redundant tasks efficiently. All right. So we also have some of the professionals that can use this. Okay. So we have a lot of professionals can definitely use this, but like I mentioned, we are just going to mention a few. We have the cybersecurity team, the auditors, IT support individuals, software engineers, the lawyers, whoever and whatever you want to make use of these tools for. Trust me, ChatGPT Enterprise can create that solution for you. All right. Now, before we dive into our data tools or the tools that we can use efficiently to analyze our data, all right, we have the Gen Spark AI. Now, for this particular AI, we are going to actually look at it and see exactly what it does for us. But before we do, I would like to introduce you to one of the interesting AI tools. I'm not sure a lot of us have heard about this, but if you heard about Gen Spark AI, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you've heard about it. Okay. If this is your first time hearing about it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up as well. All right. Fantastic. So I can just see two. All right. All right. So I know this is not a popular one, but I'm sure you are going to like it. Now, as usual, all AI tools can work for any kinds of professionals. All right. All AI tools can work for any kind of professionals. This GenSpark AI is a tool that was designed to, make life easier. Think of it as your AI assistant for anything you want. All right. So for those of us using the raise hand icon, trust me, we're still going to answer questions. Okay. We're still going to answer questions. So just use the raise hand icon. I'll be calling us just by the number of our raised hand. All right. So we have the numbers coming up as we're raising our hands. Don't get tired of raising your hand. Okay. It's just virtual. All right, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, all right. So yes, so some of the key capabilities are it generates reports, um, blogs, presentations, executive summaries. So all of those things that you are going to ask ChatGPT to draft for you, it brings them to life. All right. So I'm sure some of us are asking, oh, is this too free? Is that too free? And so on and so forth. Trust me, we're going to find out shortly. All right. We're going to find out shortly. So this particular tool, just like any other AI tool, it actually helps to enhance workflow, helps you to brainstorm, helps you to create a lot more than any other AI tool that you would actually find. Now, in terms of integration, it integrates well with diverse tools, CRM systems, Google Docs, Slack, even Notion, Trello, and so on and so forth, right? So you can integrate it as your own personal AI assistant, even on your personal device, just to see exactly how it works. All right. So we just have a few tools here, all right, just to commemorate the idea that this particular AI tool can work with any software that you want it to work with. All right. So, like I said, it's something that you can use for diverse professionals. Again, once you get this document, trust me, you can just click on the logo here. All right. Just click on it, maybe use your control button, you click on it at the same time, and it takes you to that AI page. If you can't click on it, just copy the name and go to your Google browser. All right. Now let's take a quick look at how this particular AI works. Okay. Let's quickly look at that. All right. So right here, I already have a tab opened up for this particular AI tool. If you look at it right here, it says GenSpark Super Agents. Now, this GenSpark can do anything you need it to do. You can see all the connections already available to your emails, your calendar, your drive, all your documents is already accessible by it, right? So if you wanted to do anything for you, it can do that efficiently. Now, unlike ChatGPT, it basically creates a browser for you. If you have any topic of your choice that you want to research on, while you are scrolling through maybe your browser and all of that, it takes note of things that you are doing just in case you have a question to ask. Now, I understand that a lot of us are not ready for this kind of AI, but trust me, it works efficiently. And, if you want to find out about the pricing, you have to do more research on that. But let's take it for a spin, okay? I'm going to go ahead and, prepare a template for my marketing report. All right. So I'll just say prepare. All right. Prepare a presentation on tech sales in the year 2025. All right. Prepare a presentation for the marketing reports on tech sales for 2025. Okay. Using industry trends to generate recommendations. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and request it to do what? Create a presentation. All right. So it's going to start doing that right about now. So you can see using tool. Okay. We want to go ahead and Hold on. All right. It's creating every slide page for page. All right. So all those time you spend, okay, you go through an AI tool, you create the reports, and then you still have to design your slide. Now, all of those things are integrated into a lot of AI tool, but one of these tools would actually design your slide, generate your entire report, and give you a link to download it, and you're ready in 5 minutes or less, right? So just like that, okay, we're just waiting for the preview of that particular report. Just to show us a quick example of this, there are a lot of things that these AI tools that have been listed for us here can actually do, right? So just like that, it's just trying to make sure that everything is in place. You can even go ahead and select the kind of design you want. That's as far as you can go with this particular tool. All right. But right now, because of our time, we're just going to, look at these reports, generally, and see exactly what it brings out for us at the end of the day. Okay. All right. So it's still working on that. Still working on that. Okay, so we have the 10th page already being generated. If I scroll back up, we just still have to give it a moment so that everything comes out. So it can even add your charts, your analysis. It depends on the kinds of data that you feed into it, and it's going to give you everything that you need. So you see it already writing out some information right here. Okay, and it just keeps going that way until it's completely sorted everything out. All right, so you can see the information on the background, the patterns, everything is being written out here already. And you can see the page coming up, right? Just like that. Okay, you have a report. It's going to apply the same thing for other pages as well, creating the report. You can see today's date is already there. So imagine you have 2 minutes or 10 minutes to get ready for a presentation. Everything is sorted out just like that. So imagine the amount of time you are going to have on your hands having a tool that works as efficiently as this. And trust me, if you're afraid of paying, you have your free trial, so you can try that out. Just like ChatGPT, you always have free trials. All right. So just like that, is going to keep on creating, modifying, and doing more and more and more until you have what you need. Okay, until you have what you need. So we have our page 2 executive summary. You can see all that breakdown, right? Who doesn't love, faster work, right? I don't think any one of us want to spend too much time working on some certain things. Some of us want to spend more time getting the right information while we can give it to an AI assistant to make our lives much more easier. So just like that, we have an analysis, AI markets, cloud computing, okay, global IT technology sector, semiconductors, and consumer tech. Okay, everything is broken down, even with our, tooltip showing right there, telling us the exact percentage of growth that each of these tech sectors have encountered. All right. So it's going to apply the same thing for all our slides, but I think we can just come back to this in a much later time when it is completely done. All right. So I believe we all get the idea of this particular tool. Let's go ahead and look at, something special right here. So we're going to look at our data tool. Today we started talking about ChatGPT, AI tools, and data tools that can help enhance our productivity. So we're not just going to look at ChatGPT or just look at AI tools. We have other kinds of tools that we can also look at, which is our data tools. Now, we already know that every industry right now already understands the value of data. That is transforming data into business decisions. We've seen how that particular AI analyzed some peculiar data, all right, and helped us to generate some insights. Now, the same thing is what these tools, that's Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, to mention a few, can help you do, especially when you do not want AI tools to assess your company's data. All right. There are other tools that you can also use to automate processes to help you gain full access to your company's data without having to stress too much. All right. Now, let's look at it. The first thing we have here is Power BI and Tableau. These two tools are business intelligence tools, okay? They call it business intelligence tools because they actually help us to make sense of our business's data, helping us to understand both pain points and thriving points in our businesses, right? So these particular tools, that's Power BI and Tableau, all right? Both are separate entities, but work similarly. All right. Now, they benefit a lot of individuals. Now, to mention a few, we have C-level executive, data professionals, operation leads, finance and marketing leads, large businesses and small businesses. Now, we have a workflow that these particular kinds of tools can help us to carry out. Now, right here on our screen, we just have a sample workflow. Now, this is not a limitation as to what it can do, but it's just to help us understand how to apply these kinds of tools. Now, for Power BI, to create an automated workflow, let's say your organization is storing its data in the platform known as Azure database. Okay, let's say a company is storing its data in a platform known as Azure database. Now, this particular database does what? It basically takes the necessary info. It basically helps a company store the necessary information that they need to run their businesses, either customer data or staff data, or the kind of data that their apps or softwares generate. Now, what does Power BI do in this particular situation? It helps the organization extract data. Okay, I believe I need to bring out my pen for this particular one. All right. So the first thing here that we have here is this particular tool. Now, this Azure tool does what? It helps us to store data. All right. So it's our data storage unit. Let me just, draw, what a data storage unit looks like. Don't take my drawing for it. This is just a simple sample. Now, what does Power BI do? It takes us through a process called the ETL process. Okay, the ETL process. Okay, the E stands for extract. That means it's going to take data from this particular database without having too much hassle or stress. Once authorization is given, it's going to take data from this particular database. Now, the next thing that Power BI is going to do, it will transform that data into something that is much more readable by humans. All right. Not that what is in the Azure database is not readable, but it becomes much more readable, cleaner, efficient enough for you to actually use to interpret insights or business growth to stakeholders or C-level executive, like we've mentioned here. Now, the load process is you actually feeding in that data into Power BI so that you can produce this live visual report that we have right here on our screen, right? So that visual report basically helps management to see, okay, which product is selling the most, what devices are visiting our websites more frequently, what locations are coming in or signing up to this application, and things like that. They can answer key business questions using these particular kinds of tools, right? So basically, we start from a live database, we connect it through Power BI. Power BI helps us, to clean and get that data sets ready. And then it also helps us to store a live visualization dashboard or a live visual dashboard that gives us up-to-date information about what is happening in the business. So let's say you have your weekly reports for the management. Since you've already created a live connection from the database to Power BI, okay, to create a live report, you don't need to spend hours preparing for your reports anymore. All right. You already have a live dashboard that you can just go in and, refresh, and you have your new information there. So instead of you going through this process over and over, again, and you are done. All right. So as simple as that. You create it once and you are done with the process. All you need to do is keep on getting those fresh reports every week. Okay. So the same applies for the Tableau process. All right. So we have a different example here. Unlike the Azure, we use the Salesforce database. So especially for teams like, let's say, marketing team that has a lot of customer information, payments, processes, and so on and so forth, right? You can easily just connect your Salesforce to your Tableau. It collects those data, cleans it, and helps you to prepare a report. The same thing that Power BI does, that's exactly what Tableau does. Just different interface and different processes to achieve the same goal. All right. So you get your data, extract it, you transform it, you load it, and use that information to create a live data set that can give you good insight into what is happening in your organization. All right. So that is that for your business intelligence tool. We have one more to go, by the way, and that is Looker Studio. Now, the Google Looker Studio is also a business intelligence tool that is based in the cloud. Now, these two tools that we just looked at here, that's Power BI and Tableau, you can easily just download it on your PC. All right. And you can also use it offline. Although I cannot guarantee you that connecting your data can be done offline, but maintaining your dashboard can, in most cases, be done offline. All right. So it's very easy to use. Once you download it, you're done. But for the Google software, just like every other Google tool that we know, are all web-based tools. All right. And this Google Looker Studio can connect to any kind of tools that is accessible by the Google applications. All right. So if you want to connect it to your Google Analytics, let's say you're using more of Google Analytics to monitor your website, all right, and you want to generate insights on your marketing data, Google Looker Studio is the place to go. All right. So you want to, see exactly who can benefit. Anybody can benefit from this particular tool. All right. So you don't have anything to worry about. Anyone can benefit from this particular tool. So we have the workflow of Google Looker Studio, just like the tools that we just looked at, that's Power BI and Tableau. You can connect it to Google Analytics or any other tool that you are, extracting your data from, your business data from. All right. You go into Looker Studio where you extract, you transform, you load, you use that tool to prepare your dashboard, and you can always get a live update of what is happening behind the scenes with a proper visual telling you, oh, this week we made more sales in Toronto than last week, and so on and so forth. You see all the information, the amount of money that was made based on the kind of dashboard that was prepared. Okay, based on the kind of dashboard that was prepared. So very quickly, we are going to look at, our report over here. So you can see that our report is fully created. In fact, there's also, a final page that says thank you with all the necessary information that needs to be here. All right. This is, us looking at our Gen Spark. All right. For those of us that are just joining. All right. This is us looking at the Gen Spark process of actually helping us with some of our tasks and making it faster and much more easier for us to work with. All right, so you can go ahead and view and export, or you save this particular template. So let's go ahead and export this. Okay. All right, so I'll just go ahead and you can play the slide just to look at, how it works, or if you need to change anything. To me, this looks absolutely perfect. I mean, for an AI and for that simple prompt, this is actually incredible, right? So just like that, you have a report ready and good to go. Next thing I'm going to do is download this as, PPT. Is going to download that into your device. Maybe you can see it in your download section in your file explorer, and you're good to go. All right. So while this is downloading, I want us to just do, you know, a, you know, let's just finish up with our slides here, and then we look at the other things that we have for today. All right. So the final software I'll be talking about is the master workflow software that we have here, which is N8N. All right, so I've talked about Zapier. I think I've broken down enough things about Zapier to understand what automation tools are. Now, the N8N tool is also another powerful tool that helps us to automate workflows much more efficiently, combining both no-code tools and AI tools to help us create seamless processes in our businesses. In fact, if you look at some of the YouTube videos from Tenalytics Business, you are going to see a practical session where an AI or an AI employee, yes, an AI employee was created using these particular kinds of tools. All right, so this kind of tool helps us to create seamless automation processes that does not require any human effort at all. So based on what you set it up for, that's exactly what's going to be doing. If you want it to send you, updates every day about maybe the stock market, or you want it to give you reports based on specific research for your industry, you can create a system that actually helps you get that trigger. So every Monday morning in your email, you see everything that has happened throughout last week being reported right there in a summarized format that you can easily digest based on the processes that you create. Whatever kind of tool or task you want it to achieve for you in your business settings, it definitely has all the tools that you can integrate to make that happen. All right. So like I said, you can use a lot of tools here, including ChatGPT can be integrated here. All right. So these tools, like I said, always have free trials that you can apply. All right. So make sure to, take out time, you fill out the form, and you get the best out of it. Honestly, you get the best out of it by trying this out. All right, so you've seen how some of these tools work. You can also test them out as well, and make sure to fill out that form so you get this full document that we are working with here. All right, so there are a lot of things that you can do with AI in terms of productivity. We've looked at some of these tools here, breaking them down, one after the other, to look at how they can actually benefit us. Most crucial thing that we've noticed today is that a lot of these tools can help us make our work processes much more faster, saving us time to actually achieve our goals. And a lot of them can help us eliminate some processes completely, giving it to the AI to help us to do that. Now, we are not done for today. We still have other interesting things to talk about. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and hand over to my amazing colleague, Treasure. So Treasure has something to say before we start taking questions for today's session. Okay? So yeah, hi Treasure.
Hi, Mary. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead to present my slides. Thank you so much, everyone, for amazing and interesting session. I know quite a number of individuals are going to have questions in regards, oh, you are speaking about a lot of different AI tools like GenSpark. No one has ever really heard of that. ChatGPT is quite common. There's Zapier. There's quite a number of tools. So I can see in the chat that a lot of people have questions on how do I integrate it into my workflow? How am I going to be able to make use of it? Okay. So this is where we basically come in before we go into the questions for today. So I'm going to go ahead to share my screen and help you achieve this. So 1 minute while my screen comes up. Okay, so please let me know if you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, amazing, amazing, fantastic. So if you are quite interested in the fact of like how am I going to make use of AI, how am I going to make use of these tools in my day-to-day activities, even as an employee, even as a business owner, what are the next steps or in terms of integration? This is where we come in as a team. So basically, Tenalytics business has worked with quite a number of individuals. If you were here from the very start, you could see that our testimonials ranges from organizations like Kuda Bank, Arik Air, InfaCredits, MTN. We've worked with quite a number of people and we've helped them in different, areas of the workspace. Okay. So whether it's like anything in relation to data analytics, soft skills, AI integration, that is where we basically come in. And I can say quite a number of people on those calls are like professionals, working professionals. And even if you're a student, this is also for you. So we're going to be going into basically helping individuals and helping organizations. So if you're an individual, this is for you. If you're a CEO, HR, this is also for you. The plan basically is we understand that a lot of things are being done manually, especially here in Nigeria, and we want to change that. We want to make sure that it is easier and people are able to get things done quicker and better. That's the goal. So we've modeled it in such a way that we have self-paced courses as well as live courses for you to learn how to integrate this either for your department, either for yourself, either for your business, depending on what area you're looking to have this from. We've basically come up with a model that works for you. So working professionals, yeah, I understand. I don't have time for classes. I want to be able to do this quick and fast and easy. Okay, that's where we come in. So we basically are going to be having a session, a 3-day session, where we are going to run you through end to end how to integrate this into your workflow. So you'll be learning basic things in regards like data analytics, working with different tools. It would range from, what you have like Excel, Power BI, on basically how to analyze data, how to clean data, as well as, data storytelling and data visualization. And the awesome part is you're also going to be learning how to automate the workflow process. Okay. So when it comes to making use of all the tools that Mary has mentioned in regards to ChatGPT, Claude AI, even GenSpark, whatever tool, whatever AI tool, we're going to be showing you different types of tools and how to add it to your workflow. So this is a time for you to step up and get this skill. Okay. A lot of people are afraid that, oh, AI is coming to take my job away. But if you don't learn how to, maximize the use of AI, you basically would lose your job. And that's a fact. If you've not gotten a job, if you have an AI skill, it's the future. Just like when tech started coming up and then everyone's like, tech is the new oil. Okay, so now AI is the future, and if you don't get on the train where people are learning, then basically you're going to lose out and miss out, and that's where we come in. So enough about like all that particular information. Like I mentioned, the class is going to be between September 3rd to 5th. It's a 3-day training. So, like I said, I understand a lot of people are working professional, and not a lot of people have 5-6 months because AI trainings can be about 5-6 months. But no, we're basically going to train you on what you would need as a professional. So if you are an HR professional, you want to understand, oh, let's say you have thousands of resumes coming into your desk on a day-to-day basis, and you want to know how you can basically review those resumes without actually reviewing it and choosing your best candidates. there are AI tools that can help you achieve that. If you're a business owner, your products are not moving, okay, they are not selling, and you want to understand, oh, why are my products not selling, or why are these products selling more than the other? And then basically from that, make decision. We have AI tools and data analytics tools that can help you achieve that. And that's basically all you'll be learning in this particular cohort and course. So this is basically going to be for 3 days. But the good part is you also have access to all the recordings. So you can go back and learn it at any time. If you want to get any other information, you have access to the facilitator. Okay, the facilitator will be putting you through. And then if you need help with integration, would also provide that service to you. So this is very, very important to you, whether you're a business owner, an individual, or even if you're unemployed or a student, we cater to all aspects. Okay, so for this, it will be 3rd to 5th. If you basically want more information, we have my colleagues that will be sending information on the chat so that you can have access to this particular page that I'm looking for. So basically what we'll be doing, I'm going to open the curriculum so you can see it end to end. And like I mentioned, it's targeted to all type of participants. If you're a business analyst, someone who basically wants to learn how to make use of Excel, you're an operation manager, project manager, marketing, even if you are a student and unemployed, this is for you. So you'll be able to learn the basics of data literacy, like how to make use of Excel, Power BI. If you're an organization that wants to like build a real-time dashboard, you have access to that information. Okay. If you basically want to help your staff upskill, interns, graduate training, you have access to that information. You also be able to learn tools like ChatGPT, Copilot to be able to summarize your data, to be able to improve your workflow. So whatever aspect you want to come at this from, we basically will be providing you support on that. So you basically also be learning how to practicalize whatever you've learned. Okay, so it's not me coming to give you a speech. Just like as Mary was showing you how to run through certain prompts on ChatGPT, also on GenSpark, you'd also be practicing on your own so that basically you'd have the transferable skills, from what you've learned to actually what you can do with it. And then you also be able to create an automated reporting system. So for every owner out here, HR, that has to go to meet their staff to ask them for specific information, you won't need to do that anymore. Because in real time, on a day-by-day basis, you'll be seeing the different data that you need for your business to run smoothly. And I think that is a very important aspect of business because it determines how much sales you get on a day-to-day basis. So it's very, very important for your staff to acquire these skills. At the end of the 3 days training, what will you be getting? You should be able to create a dashboard, a professional looking dashboard on both Excel and Power BI. So these are strong data visualization tools. For data cleaning, instead of you having to use all the stream function, the different types of function on Excel and Power BI, some people are not so familiar with that. You can use Google App Scripts, in Power Query to automate some of this cleaning and integration, okay? Like I also earlier mentioned, you'll be able to create real-time dashboards. So if you want all the data to be populated at the end of the day, so by the next working day, you can see the activities, you have access to doing that, okay? You have access to that information as well. So for other AI tools that help with workflow, apart from everything that Mary has mentioned, there are quite a number of them. And we can't give you all the information in just an hour to hour session. Okay, we need more time to go into details on each of those specific AI tools and how it benefits you and your business. Okay, like I mentioned, AI is the new oil, so it's very important for you to get on that train as soon as possible. For email reports and meeting summaries, some of us, if you are making use of the Microsoft space, you have Microsoft Copilot as your note taker. Okay, even here on Google Workspace, we have Gemini transcribing for the meeting summaries. So there are still other specific tools that we can't give you as much information right now. But if you join the class, you'll be able to get those information and take your organization to the next step. So that's the idea. So you'll be able to implement end-to-end automated reporting workflows. You also be able to present data stories effectively to your stakeholders. So you would not need to have to scramble to get data at the end of the day. As you can see, Mary just created an entire slide from not ChatGPT, from an AI to GenSpark without having to, go through so much stress. So I think a lot is going to happen for graphics designers and other individuals, but it is very, very important that, you should cut down on your work time. If you're spending 8 hours working, instead of you to be spending 3 hours where you can make money from other sources, this is very, very important and pertinent to you. You'll also be able to apply data driven decision making in real business scenarios. So like I've highlighted so many scenarios. If you're HR, business owner, this is so important for you, because it helps you to provide to make serious decision on how your business will work based off the data and insights that you get. So that is why you cannot miss out on the chance for AI automation and workflow. So looking at the curriculum, we're going to show you end-to-end what you'll be working for these 3 days. The good part is, before the 3 days, would give you access to the LMS. So if you are able to, go through the courses and make payment for the courses on time, you have access to the LMS system, where you'll be learning the basics of data analytics. And then in the end, you'd also have access to information on, AI tools and how to improve your workflow end-to-end. So for day one, you'll be learning things like data literacy, types of data source, your Excel skills. So pivot tables, formulas, how to quickly analyze things, for individuals that work in the office space as well as remotely. So you'll be working with how to create quick dashboards, okay? So from all your raw data, messy data, how to clean it, how to visualize those data, you learn that in day one. For day two, you've been introduced to Power BI and how you as an individual and a business can make use of it. How to connect the different data sources, because we don't only rely on Excel to Power BI, there are other data sources. So you basically learn how to connect those data sources, how to build your dashboard, as well as also how to integrate AI tools. So even in Excel and Power BI, there are some AI tools that not a lot of people know about in making your work processes very efficient. You'd also have access to like hands-on exercises in terms of how to actually create those dashboards to generate reports. And day three is just for AI and how to automate your workflow. So all the hacks, for the different AI tools, for you to be able to draft emails in terms of like meeting summaries, how to enter data, how to also schedule your tasks. We have different tools for that. And that's where some specific tools like Zapier comes in. So you'd learn different AI tools that work for you and your organization. You'd also be learning the specific nitty-gritty tools in both Excel and Power BI by setting up how to create like an automated workflow or automated report process. Okay, so that's what you'll be learning on day three. And then you get to work on a capstone project that you'll be tagging both Ten business. We have our other sister companies in different parts of the world, because Ten is actually based out of Canada. So if you are tagging this, we have quite a number of followers. Combined, we have like 100,000 followers across all our platforms. So guess how it would look like when you are showcasing your project to the world. Okay, for those looking for jobs, this is like a gold mine for you. You get to reach a lot more people and a lot more individuals. And even in the classes, you have the opportunity to network with different professionals. So these are some of the unique value proposition we are bringing to you for this particular training. So it's basically going to be AI first. We're basically looking to achieve an AI-driven solution. It is real-world application. So there is no theory. It is based off your industry, based off your current training needs. That is where we are going to get the solutions that you'll be working with. Okay, like I also earlier mentioned, you have access to our LMS system. So LMS is the learning management system. So basically for those that cannot consistently attend the session, you'll have access to the LMS system for 3 months to go through any information that you need. If you also need support from the facilitator, you have access to the facilitator at any point in time. So we'll also be teaching you end-to-end automation, how to immediately implement these things that you've learned, and basically networking with individuals. The good part is, you have between now to September 3rd, but I would highly suggest that you register as soon as possible, because there's a discount that is currently ongoing. We've slashed it down by 20%. So the course that we're taking is originally 200,000 naira, but right now it is going for 150,000 naira. And as you can see on my screen, if you are registering between a group of 3 to 5 individuals, it is slashed down further. So if you want to pay in a group, if you are an organization, you want to register your staff, it's going to be cut down to 135,000 naira for 3 to 5 individuals. But if you are looking to register 6+ people, we're going to be paying 127,500 naira per person. Okay, so the classes are going to be 100% virtual, so you don't need to be in a particular location. Like I mentioned, AI is the future, tech is the future, so a lot of things are done more virtually, okay, in terms of training. So you basically also have this option to learn, between this time slot and gain as much as possible. So what we promise to achieve in this session is that it's going to be interactive. I would re-emphasize this over and over again. We're going to ensure that the case studies that we're using are real world business case studies that are, specific to you. You'd work on a capstone project, that you present, and then you would also showcase to the world on our different platforms. You have access to learn from your colleagues. You'd also be working on group projects. If you have any Q&A, we'll be able to guide you end to end. So this is going to apply for both, the corporate individuals. But the good part is we also have a slot for students. Okay, if you are a student and you are here, not to worry, we have something just for you as well. So the students also, their program is starting quite soon. We have what we call a summer boot camp, where we are even slashing their own price to 50% off. So if you're a parent here, you have a pair, you have a child, cousin, nephew, and probably you don't want to register, you have enough information for tech, and you also want to transfer the skills to your kids as soon as possible. Between the age of 12 to 18, you want them to register for this. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to do that. So they would also be taking the data analytics and AI class, because they have their own trajectory, but it's going to be quite different. Theirs will be preparing them for the world and job market. Okay, so they'll be learning data analytics, like I mentioned, Excel, Power BI standard. They'll also be getting support in terms of employability skills, helping them to prepare resume, helping them with their employability skills, helping them with LinkedIn optimization, access to mentorship, because we have access to top organizations in Nigeria as well as across the world. So if you want to register your child, we have a program that is starting on Monday to August 11th to August 25th. So it's going to be a 3 weeks training, what would give them access to all this information that I have mentioned to you. But then they get an extra support in terms of CV, just getting them ready for the job market end to end. So this is an opportunity for you to register your child. So it's going to be 100,000 naira for this particular cohort. As you can see, it was slashed from 200,000 naira, and registration ends tomorrow. So after on Sunday, if you reach out to us on Monday, unfortunately, will be closed for registration. So this will be a good time to register your child rather, to register your niece, your nephew for this particular training. And like I mentioned, end to end, they'll be taking both data analytics and AI. So yeah, this is the right time to register for yourself, your team, your organization, as well as your child. So whatever aspects you want to look at this from, we have support from for you. So basically, I'm sure my colleagues have dropped the access to this platform, so you can go through it at your own convenience. But I'm gonna go ahead to ask if there are any questions before Mary comes up, and then we wrap up for today. Are there any questions, anything you need me to clarify on in regards the program that is starting September 3rd to 5th for individuals, as well as corporate bodies, or for student organizations, students that are starting next week Monday, from August 11th to 25th. So just to reiterate, the prices for the corporate is 150K. For Yeah, please just drop your email if the Google form is not loading, so that we can send you the information. For students, it is 100,000 naira. Are there any questions in that regards before Mary comes back, and then we take questions in regards to the program? Do we have any questions? Was I that clear? Let me check the chat if there are any questions. Okay, no questions so far. Are there any questions? You can use the raise hand icon. If you don't want to use the raise hand icon, you can leave it in the chat. Okay, Chisom, I'm getting a thumbs up. Chisom is also okay. Omalara is good. Are there any questions so far? Okay, I will take it as there is no question. So, Mary, are you there? I think we can bring you up for questions in regards the presentation for today. So if you know you initially had questions in regard to the presentation, you can use the raise hand icon so we can also respond to those questions. Okay, Dari. Mary, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Treasure.
Okay. So I can see Dari's hand. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah, so I'm going through your Google form. I'm trying to confirm. So for the course in September, which is it? Is it the data analytics, the analytics, the business? Which particular training is for the course in September? Because you listed about
Is data analytics.
Okay, just data analytics.
No, it's data analytics and AI automation. So it's a two-in-one, package. For the first 2 days, for the first day, we'll be focusing majorly on data analytics, but entering the second and third day, we'll slowly transition from data analytics to, which is Power BI and Excel, to the AI tools. Okay, so we'll first teach you the AI tools in Excel and Power BI, and then we move to other tools like Mary has mentioned. So we have ChatGPT, we have Claude AI, we have Zapier, GenSpark. All those other tools will be taught between the second and third day. Does that clarify?
Yes, because in your form you listed so many things: financial analytics, business analytics, data. So I'm just trying to clarify. So for September, it's just the first one, which is data analytics. Is that correct?
Yes, data analytics and AI automation. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, then which one is strategic leadership and executive communication? Whether is that another thing
So that
again?
Yeah, that's separate for the soft skills training. Okay, because Tenacity Business is not just focused on, the tech aspect. We also provide trainings on soft skills. So soft skills like strategic leadership and communication. So that's more on the customized aspect. If you want to reach out to us, so apart from the open program that we also offer customized training to organizations. So, if you want specific training, like, training on leadership, training on, business writing, we offer that type of training. So if you are here as well and you are an organization and you want a specific training that is not part of the open program, just reach out to us. I will drop my email address as well as the clarity call link so that you can book a session and we can clarify and help you with specific information that you need. Okay?
Okay, so that's a separate thing entirely from the data.
Yes, that's separate.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we have Dollar Man. You can go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, okay. I just want to confirm something from you. I'm a data analyst, so
Okay.
I just want to get idea of how to use the AI tools to make my work a bit easy for me. That's why I want to be part of the class. And I did ask a question earlier that is it possible for you to use AI to analyze a very dirty data sets, clean it, analyze, and visualize it with AI? Is it possible?
Absolutely. But if you want to find out more, why don't you join our class coming up September 3rd to 5th? And then we'll provide more information in that regard. But I'm going to let Mary take that. Mary, do you have a response for that?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to agree with Treasure on the answer or response she just gave, right? So a lot of times, data analysts are looking for ways to actually clean their data, make it, easier for them to go through those processes. Now, just like every other automation process, data cleaning, especially messy data, has to start from a particular point, okay, for you to be able to create a well-structured process to achieve your end goal. All right. So as a data analyst, you want to start by understanding where you're getting your data from, creating a structured system that actually helps you to clean out your data and maintains that clean structure, even when that same type of data comes into your data workflow anytime in the near future. All right. And these processes can be achieved with data tools, just like I discussed, like Power BI, Tableau, and even Looker Studio, with the help of not just those tools, but other AI softwares that can be applied to that kind of process. Okay. So you're going to learn a lot about how to do all of this in the classes that are going to be taking place, I believe, this month. So you want to take action immediately to also gain more understanding of how to leverage all of this effectively. All right.
All right, no problem. We look forward to that beautiful day that is coming.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Are there any more questions? Please feel free to ask questions. Okay, Dari, let's have you. Hi, Dari, your hand is raised.
Yes. Yes, I said, is there any discount for the individuals? Or it's just for
Absolutely.
corporate?
No, there's
So
discount
what?
for individuals. If you're looking at, let me share my screen again. So at the moment, individuals, if you can see this, I'm highlighting it. The original price is 200,000, but we're currently giving it out as 150,000 naira. So if you're also looking to pay in installments, that's an option, because I know a lot of individuals are waiting for salary, month end rather, to get their salary. But it's always good to lock down with a particular amount of, at least we're expecting half. If you have 80,000 naira to pay down, just to lock it down, to ensure that by the start of September, you complete when probably your salary comes in. That's also an option for you to go with. But it's 150,000 discounted price. The original price is 200,000 naira. I hope that answers your question, Dari.
So these individuals is for both business owners and any individual whatsoever.
Any individual, 150,000 naira. But if you, as an individual, are able to find two other person, and you guys are not three and coming as a group, you'll be paying 135,000 naira per person. If you also go further and find six people and come together, you'll be paying 127,500 naira per person. So that's the maths on how to cheat us, just so you know. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dari. Any other questions before we call it a day? It could be in regards to the program that's coming up. It could be in regards, Mary's presentation, whichever. This would be a good time to ask. Just use the raise hand icon. You can also use the chat section if you don't want to, speak. You can drop your question in the chat and we would respond to it. Do we have any other questions? Okay, I will take the silence that there are no further questions. If you can see, I also dropped a couple more information on the chat. If you want to book a demo session or a clarity session, if you are not sure in terms of what the next steps look like, I've dropped my Calendly link. You can book a call with me and then we would have a conversation in that regard. If you are a business owner, organization, and individual that would either want to have training on the open program or something more customized. Okay, maybe you're not looking at data analytics, maybe you're looking at financial analytics, or you're looking at data engineering, or you're looking at leadership communication, whatever training you want to offer, just reach out to me. I've sent my email. I've also dropped the Calendly link for you to book a call and we can discuss further on this. If you also want to call me directly, I've also dropped my phone number. So you can reach out to me and we can have a conversation in terms of next step. I'm gonna go over and ask, because we are 6 minutes away from wrapping up the program. Are there any further questions or anything you need us to clarify on at this point? before we call it a day, gonna give it a minute for anyone to ask their questions. If not, I think we can wrap up early. If there are no further questions, I think we can call it a day for now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you all. You all made the class very interactive. I can